Hey everyone, welcome to the Fin Factor, and this is the post game, or it's supposed to be the post game. It's currently Game 6 against the Colorado Avalanche. Joe's gonna walk by. There you go. But so we're in overtime right now, Game 6. Colorado and the Sharks are tied 3 apiece right now. There is 18:23 left in the overtime period, so we'll see how this plays out. We're just going to go ahead and stream live throughout the overtime right now, so we apologize if we're kind of watching the game and going back to you guys, but we're still fans after all. So
it's also going to be funny because we have a delay of about 30 seconds for the stream of our video, and then 30 seconds more for our actual YouTube show.
That's right.
So you guys will probably know before us if they score, and then you'll watch us react like, oh!
For those of you watching in the future, that was Marcus Sorensen almost putting the game away right there. 17:50 left to go in the first overtime.
They're filming hurdle.
Sorensen. No, Sorensen.
No,
just missed it.
Yeah, they just like that hurdle.
So, yeah, the puck was at the point. Carlson does the Statue of Liberty there for the big bomb.
Hurdle
swings it around to wrap it.
Sorensen just missed it.
Yeah. Went around to wrap it, went off the stick, and Sorensen was right there. Actually, that was a shot. It went off the pad there, yeah.
Whew.
So we had a question about who's going to be the one to put the game away, who's going to be the overtime hero, and Aaron, your pick was?
I'm going with Timo Meier. He already had 5 shots in the game, and he looked to be pretty on it.
Solid pick for sure. I'm going to pick Kevin LeBanc just because I feel like he's the only guy that I've seen out there tonight really moving his legs. So, you know, I don't know. If we get out of this alive, that'll be great. There it is.
No,
Game over. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that was quick.
That was quick. Okay, so Gabriel Landeskog, looks like there was a little weird bounce there, and it went past Jones.
Ripped the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't feel like the Sharks had it tonight. They just
for not having it.
Good.
For not having it though.
Yeah, sure. They put 3 goals on the board.
Late,
they tied it late. They went into OT.
So they never had a lead in this game.
No, they never had the lead.
Tied it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it just didn't look good to me though. The whole game just didn't look good. So
don't read the chat. Avs won.
Yeah. Well, it's late now. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
But so Colorado ties it up. Series is 3-3. We're going back to San Jose. That's all well and good. You know, honestly, again, like I said, I just didn't feel like they had it tonight. It just didn't look good. If they pulled it off, hey, great. The way they were playing, I was not expecting to get out of this game alive, let alone tie it up in the end there. So
Carlson on the ice.
Yeah, and look, they're throwing the body. It's just, we got to do that more. I'm sorry. We're just not doing that enough.
The guys on the radio were like, there's another chance for a hit, and he just lets up.
See, you got to get the puck out. Who is this, the forward? Was that Timo Meier? So you got an assist.
Vlasic's got the puck, and he
right
goes
here,
to flip it out, and I don't know who that was on the boards. Yeah.
Couldn't get it out. That comes back to bite you, especially in overtime.
Yep. So
such a fluky goal. That's so annoying.
You know what, though? Actually, earlier they said Meier got the assist. I think they took it away from him, by the way. No joke. They actually took it away from him. Like, he's getting everything taken away. Any goal he's like, part of, it just goes.
Oh, he has an assist right now, +3.
Well, hopefully getting back into San Jose and the right altitude and everything helps bode well for the San Jose Sharks. We will see. That game is in 2 days, correct?
Wednesday.
Yes.
It is Wednesday? Okay, good. So, yeah, we know it'll be a Wednesday game. Pierre is interviewing Landeskog right now.
Another Game 7.
Hey, you know what? Like somebody said, why play 16 when you can play 28?
Yeah, sure. You know.
So, do you think Pavelski's going to come back for Game 7?
You know, he very well may, but I hope that he doesn't come back early. If he's not ready to go, I hope that they just don't bother, because I would much rather see him not risk his career just to try to get a win here. I think the boys have shown that they can win without him. I hope they do, obviously. I hope they give him an opportunity to come back and play a little bit more hockey. I'm just not sure if Game 7 is the time for him to do that. So, super producer Jason's plugging some stuff in there. But I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if he'll be back. I'd love to see him back, but again, if it's not the right time, let's not rush it.
Shout out to John Doe, $1.99. Home team's doing what they have to do, win at home.
Yeah. No, that's the truth of it, right? I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about throughout the series was, expect your home team is going to win the games there. So Colorado doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to put the wins up. Now, it's the Sharks' turn, right? So when we come back to San Jose, it's our turn to put one up on the board there. Let's get out of this series alive. So
I like the chances better for the Sharks at home.
Oh,
I mean, other than Game 2, I guess, the Sharks really outplayed the Avs at home. especially with the matchups they're able to get that to get Vlasic against that top line, which they were effective up until that last play. The top line for the Avs before the overtime goal was -3. They're on the ice for all 3 Sharks goals.
Yeah.
So the Sharks were outplaying them up at that line at least.
Yeah. So that's.
But again, you control that line, you still have a chance to win the game.
That's more of a testament to Logan Couture and his line dominating Nathan MacKinnon and his line. It's everything that I was seeing though on the game tonight. It just didn't look like we were just slow, lethargic, not really into it, not really moving. You know, I didn't feel like we deserved to win that game in the first place. I would love for us to have pulled it off, but just the way they were playing, it just didn't look right to me. So
it would have been nice to win to just get that rest.
Yeah.
Just a couple extra days.
Because now what's going to happen is you've got St. Louis and Dallas, and they're in Game 7
tomorrow.
So, tomorrow. So it would have been great to get this win, right? Then they have their game, get a little bit of rest, and then the league's got to give them a day or two to get themselves in a row to play for the next series. That would give us that extra day. Now, whoever wins that series is going to get that extra day of rest more so than the Sharks or the Colorado Avalanche will. So kind of a downside there for having to go to 7 games, but this is what Colorado wanted to do. They wanted to force the opportunity to get to Game 7.
Brutal way, man. There's no easy way to a Stanley Cup. It's 2 7-game series back-to-back. That's rough.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and at least the Sharks have home ice, so they're playing Game 7 at home.
That's what they. That's what the regular season counts for, right? Is the ability to get your home ice advantage. Is it really an advantage? Well, maybe yes, maybe no. There are things like the line changes, like we talked about, and putting your stick down first in the center ice or second in the center ice face-offs and everything.
I'll tell you right now, it's much better to play in San Jose than it is in Denver at altitude for Game 7.
Absolutely.
You saw how tired they looked tonight and how gassed. Even early in overtime, and I think most of the third period, they just looked like they were dead tired. So they couldn't get their legs moving. But when they're at home, they look much better. Yeah, and they're going to have to look much better because the way they looked tonight just wasn't very good. So if we put together a consistent effort on was it Wednesday we said? Yep.
For Game 7, much better a chance to take this one and play against either Dallas or St. Louis, whoever happens to come out of that series. So looking for a much better effort, but tonight just wasn't our night.
Yep. We got a lot of Avs fans in here tonight.
Oh, cool.
So welcome. Thank you for joining us. And people complaining about some calls. I was complaining a little bit earlier about the officiating, but I mean it was okay. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah,
I think the Sharks just they didn't seem like they were calling much. There's some obvious calls to me that they could have done.
Yeah. The guys on the radio were talking about like if they're not going to call the interference calls, just then start doing it back, like and start slowing these guys up at the blue line.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, I saw definitely there was the.
They just seemed like a little ticky-tacky against the Sharks tonight versus what they were getting away with, I thought.
Okay.
I think the refs didn't want to give any advantage to the Sharks, really.
I don't think anyone was going to get an advantage in the third. And beyond.
One of the weird ones for me was that Haley penalty where it was like a roughing, right? And it seemed like they were kind of hitting each other back and forth, and I was, okay, if you're going to throw both of them in the box, that makes sense. And even after the fact, Haley was kind of skating off, and another Colorado Avalanche kind of engaged him. And I was kind of just like, okay, why is Haley the only one going to the box? I don't really get that. Even it up, that to me that makes sense. Sure, go ahead, throw them both in, but I'm not sure why Haley was the only one going to the box there. But ultimately, is that why we lost this game? No. We just didn't look good. To me, we just didn't have the legs. They just didn't look like they were engaged. I don't know what was going on.
Lack of clearing the puck.
What?
2 goals off of lack of clearing the puck again.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. They need to get that puck out and play a little bit more conservative, especially in overtime. I mean, that goal resulted because they couldn't get the puck out.
Mm-hmm.
Just flip it out. Do what you can to get it out.
Yeah.
Like even if you have to ice it, get it out and reset, get it going again. So once again, the Sharks kind of beat themselves, but yeah.
I mean, I still think that they're fast. It's that last change that seems like it's getting us, at least in this game again. I thought beginning of the series, we were talking about the third line with Thornton. Like we thought they were going to be a much bigger factor. They played well in the third, but other than that, like they were kind of, they're just out there to skate around for a bit and then wait for everybody else to get back on the ice.
Yeah, I think the numbers you threw at me were, with the plus-minus at least, was that line was basically a -1. I think the Couture line was like a +3, and the MacKinnon line was a -3. So they were doing their job out there, that top line, the Couture line, if you will. But with Jumbo's line, it looked like, I don't know, they look decent. I think LeBanc was the only one I felt like consistently all night looked like he was constantly chugging, constantly moving.
Sorensen looked like he almost had that chance too.
Yeah, well, no, chances, yes, but I'm talking about just overall effort and the way that they look. Not just he had a good chance, right? Yeah, there were plenty of chances for us to bury it and put it away, and I think Sorensen's was one of those. Where Hertl kind of did that wrap around and it kicked off the pad of Grubauer there and came right out to Sorensen and just kind of bounced over a stick or he whiffed on it or whatever the case was.
I think his stick was tied up pretty well, so he couldn't get a clean look.
He fired. He pulled the trigger. He just didn't hit it.
But something like he couldn't get a clean one. So
yeah.
I could hear you in my head, Paul, on Couture's miss. Screaming, just elevate.
Elevate, yeah.
I know that comes quick, but I know it's...
It's just the truth of it, right? And the funny thing is, these guys are professionals, and they do this all the time in practice. They take the puck from the paint, like close to like the red line on where the pipes are, right? That red line, in the paint, and they're lifting it up, and it's going like hitting top of the net, not even just like in the net, like hitting the top underneath the crossbar. These guys know how to elevate the puck from like inches out. So why we can't seem to do that when it matters, I don't understand. But no, there are definitely times where it's like, yeah, just lift the puck a couple inches off the ice and it's probably going in.
And kudos to Grubauer for coming across and getting that pad down. I mean,
amazing save.
This is very reminiscent of Game 6 actually in last series. Big saves on both sides.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the goaltending tonight was really good. You take a look at some of the goals that got scored on Martin Jones, and the first one I think was a cross creaser on a 2-on-1 where he stretched all the way across. And again, what I've been saying, okay, Martin Jones, there's nothing wrong with Martin Jones. He's not the goaltender that you want in net if you're going to constantly be giving up breakaways and 2-on-1s. When you have him in a 2-on-1 situation and it's a cross crease one-timer like that, it's not the expectation for any goalie, really. The expectation shouldn't be, he's going to make that save. If the expectation is that the goaltender is going to make that save, what are you expecting is going to go in then? What kind of goal is one of those ones that should go in then? If that's one of the harder ones to stop when you're sliding all the way across your crease, and because the pass is moving faster than anyone can skate, and then one timer off of that, it's like a rocket. So if you're supposed to make that save, right?
Yeah.
Then which ones are you not supposed to save? So that was the first goal against. Second goal against, he didn't even see because I can't remember who it was. I think number 37 or maybe Colorado Avalanche fans. Who was it that was screening Martin Jones on the second goal there? He couldn't see anything. He was literally just kind of had his arms out like this, just hoping he would stop something, anything. And puck goes in because he can't see it. It's like you need to clear that out. You need to get in that lane. Why is that shooting lane open? If you can get in his eyes, somebody should be in the shooting lanes. So, I don't know. To me, again, we just did not look as engaged as we needed to be. We didn't look like we were moving our legs as much as we should have. And again, some of that could be due to fatigue. Some of that could be due to the altitude. We can come up with more excuses if we need to. At the end of the day, it's Game 6. You have a chance to step on their throats. You got to step on their throats.
I'm fine if you're looking. I mean, like if they're not scoring, that's fine. But like we were talking about earlier, you got to finish your checks. You have to. If you think you're not going to win this game because you're playing from behind the entire game, invest in Game 7.
Yeah, and I don't mean to talk the whole time. Sorry, Aaron, but like again, this whole thing with investing, right, and finishing your checks. To me, it's not even finishing your checks. It's starting your checks. No one's even attempting to throw a body at anybody wearing a Colorado Avalanche jersey out there. And
Burns will.
Burns threw his butt out there. I'll give you that. Yes, Burns threw his butt out there. But when I'm looking at, again, Cale Makar is just out there skating around willy-nilly, having the time of his life, and this is the expectation is that, hey, yeah, no problem. I'll just take the puck and do whatever I want with it. You have to make him pay. You have to make him think twice. You have to hurt this guy's confidence because Avs fans, you guys know, this kid's going to be a stud in this league, a star in this league. Okay, he may not be quite there yet, although I think he's pretty close. But there's a mental side to this as well. Physically, he's all there. But he's only 20 years old. You got to hit this guy. You got to make his confidence drop down. That's where you're going to beat him. Get in his head. Because physically and skill-wise, he's all there. Mentally is where you got to mess with this guy. So I would just love to see us do anything. Like I said, dump the puck in the corner and go after him. Make him dig it out and go after him. You don't have to injure the guy. I'm not asking for injuries. But you do need to lay the body on this kid and get in his head. So I don't know why we're not doing that at all this series. We're not throwing the body around. After a physical series like Vegas, you'd think that we're used to it. The bumps and the bruises should all be healed up by now because it's not like this is a physical series with Colorado Avalanche. This is a foot race. Right? Yep. This series is more about speed than brawn, and not just in brawn, but speed than being heavy on the puck. And so I would rather see us, after we've gotten a little bit of time to catch our breaths after the Vegas series, okay, your bruises are healed up now. Let's go pound those boards. Hit those guys, because I'm just not seeing it. And they're out there just freewheeling as much as they like. And this is the game that Colorado wants to play. They want to play where they have the puck on their sticks, running around, doing anything and everything they want at speed, and we're not making them pay for it.
Yeah, Logan Couture said a couple games ago that the Sharks play better when they're forechecking and getting pressure on them because their defensemen can't handle the pressure and they turn over the puck. And the Sharks kind of did that a little bit, not so much this game as much as they should have. But when they were doing it, it was effective, and they were getting their chances.
The forecheck did look good, though, at times.
Wasn't consistent. That's the problem. You need a full game of it. You can't just one period of it's not going to do it.
Right.
But credit to the Avs, they won the game.
Yeah.
And they stuck with it. They had their backs to the wall, and the Sharks couldn't do it. But also credit to the Sharks for sticking with the game and hanging in there with them and getting goals when it mattered. I mean, Vlasic scored with only a couple minutes left in the game, right? So that was clutch, and he had 2 goals.
All of the Sharks' goals came from the blue line.
Yeah.
Burns with the bomb.
Burns scored with 10 seconds left in the second. That's huge to tie the game. That's a big momentum booster, and then Vlasic ties it up again. Yeah. So, I mean, unfortunately, the Sharks never had a lead, but they hung in there. They had a chance to win.
If only they could have played overtime a little longer, they might have gotten it tied.
Yeah. Maybe.
And there's a lot of chat about like penalties and whatnot, but again, it's like penalties. If you're not getting them, you gotta play without them. We only got one penalty power play. We went 0 for 1 today. That puts us at a total of what, 2 for 17. So it's not like our power play would have done much for us.
I was gonna say it's not like
we have to play better 5-on-5. We gotta secure the puck in the defensive zone, and we have to clear the puck.
Yeah, I think there was just all around play for me was lacking. Right, I just didn't see anything that I really liked. And again, I mean, Pickle scored 2 goals, and those were pretty nice little goals. I mean, one of them he shot. It looked like he was trying to pass it to Meyer, almost like a one-time pass to Meyer that went off of a skate, and it went in. I think it was the door off.
Vander Kane, no penalty minutes tonight.
Hey, but nothing else happened with
he had
with
3
hits.
Kane,
Right?
He led. Dylan led with 4. Or actually, Burns led with 5 hits.
Okay.
Kane just looked like he was kind of skating around. I mean, like, we know something's wrong with him. We don't know what's wrong, but he wasn't fully invested. There was a couple. I think it was late in the third that he started to look like he was actually really invested in the play. And then you see him come out on his next shift, and he's just kind of like cruising to the puck. Nope, they're clearing it. I'll turn around, skate offside.
The Sharks' only power play was when they were on the penalty kill and Couture got tripped. They had 34 seconds of power play. That's it. So 0 for 1, but they had 34 seconds.
0 for a quarter.
Yeah. That's
And
ridiculous that they can go. They were definitely should have been called penalties against Colorado. That's absolutely insane that they essentially had no power plays in that game.
Yeah.
And the Sharks had, or the Avs had 3, I believe.
Yeah.
Right.
But they went 0 for 3. They got shut down too. So again, this whole series, everyone's pretty much been shutting down the power play, whether it's a lack of power play production on both teams' side or it's a good penalty killing on both teams. It hasn't been nearly the same as the last game.
Yeah, the story of the series hasn't really been the special teams, I guess, really is what we're saying there, right? So
face-offs today. 47 Sharks.
Yeah.
50. I thought it was worse, actually.
Yeah, it felt worse.
I think it was worse earlier in the game. I think they caught up.
Yeah.
Okay.
That third period, I think they pushed a little bit more.
Well, we are here taking all your comments and questions. Obviously, a disappointing night in terms of, for me, in terms of effort and just everything that I saw. I didn't feel like we deserved to come out of that one, but and we didn't. So it's a shame. But your comments, questions, please go ahead and send them in. We are ready for you guys, and hopefully we've got enough folks in here now that
we have 157 people. No,
whoa,
wait, 154 people.
Uh-oh.
So 3 people just jumped out.
I should stop talking. Sorry.
$1.99 from Manny Marquez. Thank you. Going on the PK causes mental wear and tear and fatigue. Yes, especially when you're in altitude and you're killing penalties. But I mean, they only had 3. It wasn't that many penalties. Yeah.
And one of them was for what, a minute 30? You said, or that was 4
yeah,
and 4.
Yeah.
So,
but no. I mean, I agree. Obviously, anytime that you're playing a man down and you're pinned in your zone, essentially playing, with 5-on-4. You're gonna expend more energy than you really need to. And the thing that really sucks about playing on the PK is most times at least the defenseman, most times your feet aren't really moving as much, and the starting and the stopping is what really wears your legs down more than anything else. Once you're at speed, you're not gliding so much, but those extra pushes are not as difficult on your legs as compared to having to do lots of starts and stops, right? So when your feet aren't moving and you're staying static, it takes a little bit more out of you. And when you're pinned in your zone, especially when you're trying to get into shooting lanes and you're just kind of sweeping your stick back and forth to get in those passing lanes as well. That can wear down on you even more. So, go ahead.
Jason Hillier, either one of you going to Game 7? Are you going?
Potentially.
Yeah?
Potentially. I don't know. We'll see. I say that because the group that I'm part of, we haven't gone to any games this series for this group, so that would basically mean that
How big's the group?
Should have. I think it's like 6. It's divided up 6 ways, but one person's got like 2 shares of it, so they have like 1/3 of it, and everybody else has like a sixth. Yeah, it's
4 seats. 2 seats.
For this, it'd be 2 seats. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any plans right now to go. I'll probably be sitting right.
Potentially. Why, Jason? You need someone to go with, or what? What's the deal? Let me know.
Thank you. $2 from American Dadass 408. Fin Factor makes my body tingle. It's catching on.
Oh,
somebody else. Somebody else. Thank you. Thank you for the $2.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hoodie idea.
What's that?
A hoodie idea.
A hoodie idea?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, dear.
Actually, you know what? We had a little bit of talks earlier about maybe starting like a Patreon, and we're not sure if we're going to actually go that route or not. But maybe that's something that we do for one of the tiers. We do a body tingle something. Who knows?
No.
It just sounds terrible.
Yeah. Well, no.
All the poor people in the podcast are going, what?
What is going on? Yeah. So anyway, any other comments to dive into?
No,
here?
but we'll do the roll call.
Okay.
We got 155, so it's gonna take a while. And also, let's throw up the pictures that we had this week.
For roll call, should we say if you're new to the show, to kind of compact it a little bit, or do you want to just have everybody just go?
No, I don't care. I'll just read it off. I just like.
Right.
I think people like to hear where other people are tuning in from, especially
That's
the
cool.
new one. So where are you watching from, and how'd you find us? Right.
Sounds good.
That's
And
what we
also,
did.
if you could put the 3-letter abbreviation for your team, I think after like COL for Colorado or whatever, so that we know what team you're affiliated with. Which, by the way, if you are a Colorado Avalanche fan, you're tuning in, welcome, and we are happy to have you here. Please just keep it nice and what's the word I'm looking for? Cordial. Yeah.
Respectful both ways.
Respectful.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know the Sharks fans should be respectful too.
Right. And then let's show that we have 2 pictures today from Instagram. I think we talked about this one last time, but this is Jens in Sweden. He got his shirt and sticker, and it's a signed sticker from Evander Kane. So he was very excited to get that, and we thank you, Jens, for sending in the picture. And then we also have a picture. Is it going to show up here?
What's the picture
of? The one from today.
Yeah.
What's his name? JJ Peacock 9. Looks like he's at Marquette too in Wisconsin, which is pretty cool. So he's wearing
stash.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So he was wearing that. It was taken today, actually. He sent that to us today. So
nice.
He's probably still wearing that right now.
Love it.
So yeah, thanks for sending those in. If anyone else is buying any of our swag and wants to send us a picture, tag us on Instagram, send it on Facebook, Twitter, however you want to do it, or you can even email it to us and we'll highlight it on the show.
Yeah, as long as you don't take it with a toaster, right? So that we can actually make out what is there. Pixelated pictures, yeah, never mind. You never heard that before?
You don't have a camera on your toaster?
What?
I thought you meant take it with the toaster in the background or something.
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
take it with a toaster. Yeah, put our hat on a... What?
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, of course it doesn't.
Now we're going to get a bunch
We've
of
already
toaster
hit that point in
pictures.
the night.
Oh, gosh. Yes, if you have a toaster, please send a picture to us for no reason at all. No, if you've got a nice picture that's not highly pixelated, we can put it on the show, no problems.
All right, American Dadass 408 is Sharkinator 408 on PS4.
Oh, okay.
Hello. John Doe, Brandon and Pearl, Stevenson E, San Francisco Fin Factor makes my body tingle. Dennis, Baltimore, Caps fan here, happened upon the show. Welcome, and thanks for watching. I hope you're rooting for the Sharks. I was rooting for the Caps last year.
That's true, yeah.
They're the Sharks of the East. Yeah.
Yes.
Stevenson E, SJS, Till I Die. John James Peacock, Milwaukee, which I think that's him.
Yeah.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's see. Joe is one too many. I've been here since game 1 of the first round.
Cool.
I can't do this name.
It's okay. Just say
Divers 13, Chesapeake, Virginia. OG 408 native. Zinxie Red right here, boys. Northern Quebec. We're 10 hours from Ottawa.
His
10 hours
nickname is Red.
north from Ottawa. That's a long way.
His nickname is Red. I love it.
Right.
Because he's the red.
He's
the
always
red
the
circle.
center.
It's centerman
So
on
it's always red.
NHL 19. Yeah.
The King Jack. I'm not even a fan of either team, but I'm glad I found this. I'm in Tempe, Arizona. Who are you a fan of then?
Well, Tempe. He's got to be.
He's a fan of both of you. I don't know.
You can't be a fan of the Coyotes.
Got to be a fan of us. Just us.
Right.
Yeah.
Aaron,
and thank you.
Which one?
Thinking Jack.
Oh, Thinking Jack. Did I say the King Jack? Sorry. Ezer. Jigsaw Cash Ducky from Vancouver, British Columbia. Found you on YouTube. Jason Hillier, San Ramon, about an hour north. You get the point. Yanez Demsar, South Lake Tahoe. Nice. Manny Marquez, Santa Ana, California. San Jose Sharks. I'm looking to see who else is from the OC. Dennis Lucero, Monterey and Center. Monterey and Center.
Oh, okay.
Shark City.
Yeah.
I was thinking Monterey. Like down south Monterey.
Monterey Road.
I just jumped. Sorry.
Monterey Highway, I guess.
John Jr. is at Las Vegas, and he likes the Flyers.
Thank you. Matt Land, San Jose Sharks for life from Sacramento. David H., Temecula, California. Found you guys after game 1 of the first round against Vegas on Apple Podcasts. Go Sharks.
Nice.
Thanks for tuning in on YouTube.
Which, by the way, we are on the Apple Podcast. We are on Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio. Those are the main ones.
And Google.
And Google. I always forget Google.
ED Peace Toilet. Shark fan from Colorado Springs. Found you while searching for Sharks content last night. Oh, awesome. Welcome.
Oh, cool. Welcome.
Josh R., Salem, Oregon. Found you guys through the Apple Podcast. Best Sharks podcast out there. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Gabis Garcia, down with the Avs. Are you saying you are down with the Avs, or are you saying
Down with the
down with the Avs? Britton Kennedy, Colorado Avs, Denver, Colorado. Nice channel and setup. I subbed. Thanks.
Thank you.
Red Zapper 26, Susanville, California. That's way up there.
Susanville.
Yeah, it's near Eagle Lake.
I've never heard of that.
John James Peacock here.
He's just calling in for the roll call. He's here.
I know.
Here.
I was kidding.
Present.
Les Roy, L.A., San Jose Sharks. Brad Kapler, San Jose from Dallas. Found this on YouTube. That's awesome. Sharks fan in Dallas territory.
Nice.
Karina Sarkari, San Jose. Anonymous username. Sharks fan from Oklahoma. Thanks for the show. Is that like a real anonymous username? Is that
No,
someone's real name? Or is that really like an anonymous username?
I think it's a real anonymous.
That's cool. Denna Formwald, Alberta, Leah, Minnesota. Found this after Game 7 with the Knights. Sharks all the way. Brighton, UK. James Lloyd from Brighton, UK. Sharks, I come here for the tingles.
Oh, jeez.
It's happening. The Biscuit 95, San Jose. Luck Frog 82, San Jose. I'm taking it with a toaster now. Oh boy. Jordan
Adam.
Marley, Stockton, California. Seen your post on San Jose Sharks Facebook group when you had Randy Hahn on the show. That's way back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Episode 14 for anybody wondering.
Manny Marquez, take a pic with a toaster ball. Stevenson Yee, they're just ripping me on the toaster comments. Jesse Fulcher, Missoula, Montana, back again. San Jose Sharks. American Dadass, San Jose native, living in Tacoma, Washington. It jumped on me again. Dang it.
Gabis Garcia, San Luis Obispo, California, looking for highlights.
There we go. Nathaniel Arias, Denver, Colorado, enjoying the channel. Keep it up.
Nice.
He's an Avs fan. JR Smooth Descripted, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Go Sharks. Lundy, 87, Minnesota. This roll all takes a half an hour. It does.
That's what I was asking. Should we just do the new people?
That's what-
Lahaina Divers 13. Lahaina in Hawaii. It's a dive spot in Hawaii. Thinking Jack, Canadians fan. Friend is a Sharks fan. Told me to check you guys out after you sent me a T-shirt from your guest. Great works. Hockey's hockey. Thanks, dude. That's awesome that you got a shirt too.
Wait, his friend bought a T-shirt for
him. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Who's your friend? Respond with the comment. Who your buddy is.
Radim Zacios, welcome back. Watch you from the Czech Republic. Regular viewer now. Love your stuff.
Nice.
Kurt Danielson, Sweden. How do you say hello? Hello?
Hey.
Oh, hey. That's right. I always forget.
Hey. It's not,
Hedge, right?
no,
H-A-G.
yes. It's spelled hedge, but it said hey.
Oh, Steve Wozniak was at the game today, I heard.
Oh, wow. Cool.
I think that's about it for roll call.
Nice.
Oh, Seattle. Patrick Cabral, Seattle. Patrick Cabral, who we'll talk about in a minute.
Actually, let's do that now. Do we have the graphic for the other thing?
Sure.
Okay.
One more. Darren, South Korea, Sharks for life. Go ahead.
Cool. So Patrick Cabral is heading up the EASHL for the Xbox One platform. Here's a graphic of what that team looks like right about now.
And you can tell they're just burning up the league.
Sad. Yeah. So no. For Xbox One, at least, if you have an Xbox One and you have NHL 19, I know at least one of you does because we gave. Well, actually, that person never claimed that prize, did they?
No.
Do you remember his name, Joe? I forget
You
the
have it
guy's
written
name.
down somewhere.
It was like Nolan Jackson.
Nolan Jackson. Yeah, Nolan Jackson. If you happen to be watching, you won the NHL 19 game code for Xbox One, but you haven't contacted us to claim it yet.
Must
so.
be present to win.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll give that away. We'll give you another couple of days, and if you don't, then the next show we'll give it away again. How about that?
Uh-oh. Price is gone. So, yeah, you saw that the previous crack, there was only 3 people in the Xbox Live, or Xbox One, rather, EA SHL team. So.
We know there's a lot of Xbox One players because they were yelling at us for not playing on Xbox One.
Like, oh, how come you don't have Xbox One? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine.
There's
So
at least 5 or 6 people that hit us up. So there's a team now, so join it and get cracking.
And it should be public. I think he's got his as public. Now, for the NHL 19, there were just so many people that wanted in on the PS4 that I had to go private. So
Right.
that's actually not the case at all. I went private because somebody messed with our jerseys somehow, and fixing it was to go private. I don't know. Anyway,
it worked.
That is fixed now. However, the graphic that shows the EA SHL PS4 team,
Let's take a look.
boom. Look at
Paul,
that.
you are El Capitan.
Now, what you
Peanut
can't see is that you have to
GSX.
scroll to get through all the people that are actually playing in this game.
You have to scroll to the bottom to see where Paul and I stand.
That's
in the
not
standing.
true.
We're at the bottom.
I'm just there with the seat. No, we're near the top because you have to scroll to get to the bottom of the players. We actually are near the top.
Whatever.
Here. So, yeah. So I mean,
Paul's
you see there.
got 15 games, 4 goals and 7 assists. You're normally playing defense.
I'm
though.
always playing defense. I've
Yeah.
actually never played as a forward. I think with
Actually, I
them,
don't know if-
maybe once.
I think I've played maybe once.
Okay.
Most of it's defense. I actually played 1 game as a goalie.
How'd that go?
Not bad. I mean, we lost.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting to win, but I had a lot of saves.
Well, so here's the names of the folks. I mean, some of the guys have already kind of revealed who they were on PS4 when they were doing the roll call there. So that Shark 408 dude, he's leading in points. Although he's also got like some of the most games played as well. When you got where's our big red there?
Zinksy,
yeah.
But if you look at the points per game,
yes,
he's leading for
points per game. He is off the chain. So yeah, if you guys are interested in playing, that's all well and good. You can, again, I have it as private, so if you want to join, go ahead and request to join. If you search TFF as the abbreviation for the club on both Xbox One or PS4, you'll hit one of the 2 teams. So
I'm also, I have a Twitch channel that I'm going to post in there right now.
So we'll
that I
put
started.
the Twitch channel information up as well in the channel. It should be there now.
Yep.
Good.
So if you want to watch, you can
If
check
you
it
want
out.
to watch and point and laugh
Yeah.
while we're doing that. And that one might not be safe for well, I guess safe for work. I don't know. But there might be a little bit of language in that one. We can't really control the other people that are there that you're listening to, and I think we kind of let loose a little bit too.
Zinksy said, I'm on line 3rd place on points. Aaron is my favorite winger because he loves the R1. I poke check a lot. I get a lot of tripping penalties.
Yeah.
I'm learning. I'm getting better.
right.
I'm getting a lot better.
I wish that was a stat. I wish they showed you how many. Well, maybe they do actually, and I just haven't scrolled over. But how many penalty minutes?
Because I looked.
Oh,
well,
okay.
how many pims? Yeah,
I think,
but
yeah.
not like.
I think you're leading the team, bud.
Oh no, I'm 2nd.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody has more games played. obviously.
Second with less games played. All right. Everyone.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Nathaniel Arias, thank you very much. $1.99 in the super chat.
Hey.
Everyone is wondering, will Pavs play Game 7? Your take on it?
Oof.
I think what they said today was that he would be. How'd they word it? Not questionable, but
Probable.
probable.
Yeah.
Probable. I think they were hoping that they could win tonight, so he didn't have to play and he can get another couple days extra rest. So
Yeah.
now, who are you going to bounce from the lineup? Donskoy. He has yet to score since January. Is that right?
Yeah, and again, nobody really stood out to me tonight. You know, but again, you know, I'm not sure if it's the right move. I don't know if it's the right move to put Pavs back in. Is it really that he's ready to go? Is the timing just working out perfectly that he happens to be ready for Game 7 of the series? Or are you trying to force this guy back because you're facing an elimination game now? So to me, I'm worried about him coming back before he's actually ready. And I guarantee you, look at tonight, right? If the Sharks were up 3-2, he didn't bother. He didn't play. Now, either he's not good today and he will be good in 2 days.
He did practice.
Yeah,
without a orange jersey on.
Great, but you know what? He had the puck and he was skating around and nobody was really going after him. From what I saw.
But it wasn't like he had a no contact jersey.
There's a whole different type. There's a whole different game afoot when you're in practice and you're actually involved and getting absorbing the hits and everything else, versus you just having the puck to yourself, skating really fast, making sharp turns. Yes, that's all well and good. You can do that when no one's pressuring you, but when you've got people pressuring you and you have to worry about getting bumped or hit or whatever else,
especially with his
different
spot
ball game. So I just don't know that I'm I'm personally ready to see Pavs back in, knowing that, to me, it just seems suspect. Oh, no, he's ready to go. It just happens to be potentially the last game of the season, but he's ready to go. That just doesn't sound right to me, right? I think it's forcing him back in the game. And
I bet he plays because it could be his last game.
He might play, but I just don't want it to be his last game of his career either. If he's not ready to come back, I don't want to see him risk it. That's my point.
I don't think he would do that. I think he would play if he's ready to play.
I think he would.
No, I don't. I don't think he wouldn't do that. Not in this day and age.
I think if
he was going to do that, he would already have been playing.
I think if these players feel that they're ready to play, you're going to have a good luck trying to talk them out of it. That is basically what I think.
I mean, if you read that, did you read the thing last night on the Mercury News?
Look at Erik Karlsson, though,
because he talked about it.
Okay,
he talked about his injury, and he talked about how he felt and how he's been training and how and everything's been going good.
And if I want to come back, I'm saying the exact same thing too. That's my point. Look, again, Erik Karlsson came back and he was clearly not ready to go. He ends up jacking up his groin again, and even in that game, he was like, "No, I'm good." Goes out there and he's immobile and gets walked around. These guys will say anything to get back on the ice. Trust me.
He did say that was a different injury.
Sure,
it wasn't the same groin.
Yeah,
injury.
That's exactly what I'd be saying too. He had 2 injuries in the groin. Come on.
Yeah, you can do your right and in your left side.
What are the chances of you all of a sudden tearing one side of your groin and then
He didn't tear it.
Injuring one side of your groin.
Well,
then all
there's
of a
big difference between straining and tearing.
And
tearing means you need to have surgery to repair it. He
Cool.
didn't need surgery.
Injuring one side of his groin and then injuring the other.
It's actually really easy because you start favoring one side and so you overextend the other side.
Sure.
It's actually really
That's why when
easy
you
to
blow
do.
out one knee, you could blow out the other one.
My point remains: these guys are going to tell you anything that they can to get back on the ice, and I think if Pavs is good enough to go, he'll go out there and risk it. I just hope that he doesn't go out there and get a big hit, and that's the end of his career. That's my whole point. I just don't want to see that.
Yeah, and the thing that I would worry about too is where's his spot when he's on offense? Right in front of the net. Who's going to be standing behind him? Anyone who wants to cross-check him.
Cross-checking in the back. Taking pucks that are coming straight at him again, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last thing you need to do is hit him again. And he's probably going to wear his face shield again. But, I mean, he's in high danger areas, not like high danger putting the puck in the net, but high danger getting hurt. This is a guy that's just now coming off of a head injury. I think the last thing you need to do is throw him into the fold in the Game 7 where everything's on the line. They're going to let everything go, and it's going to be extremely intense. I think the last thing you need to do is put a guy who just came off a concussion injury like 2 weeks ago, back in front of the net and get whacked. That's me. If he's 100% ready to go, cool, go ahead and do it. But I guarantee you, he is not 100%. He is not ready to come back, but he'll probably do it anyway.
Thank you, Jason Hillier, for the $2. If Pavs is out, who's going to draw the 5-minute major?
Yeah. Nice. I don't know. Someone's got to do it. Yeah. It's the magic formula, right?
Right.
So there was a question earlier that someone asked, and it was, how confident are we in our team in Game 7?
More confident in Game 7 than in a Game 6. And the reason is because, again, like Aaron was talking about, Colorado, first of all, home ice advantage for Colorado in that game. And then secondly, the altitude certainly doesn't help the San Jose Sharks. They're not used to that. Avs are, so it certainly does help. We talk about teams having an advantage at their home ice, knowing how it's going to bounce off the boards and everything else. Well, they have that on top of, again, just the elevation, the altitude, being a big factor there as well. So I think the combination of those things, it's one of those arenas that you don't already want to play in because of those two factors. And then on top of it, obviously, the home crowd helping them out. So coming back to San Jose, we know our arena better in terms of the way that the puck bounces. There's no altitude, issues to deal with, and the San Jose crowd has proven to be some of the most electrifying in the league, and they can absolutely inject the team with some, magic put the puck in the net juice. So it should be a really good game. I'm thinking that if we come out with just a little bit better effort than in Game 6, we should take Game 7, and we really didn't even play that well tonight. So
I'm expecting the Sharks to come out like they did in Game 5. Complete, almost domination of the game from start to finish, and not let the Avs really even get into the game. Bury their chances. I think they're going to play great defensively as a team, as a unit, and get the pucks out and play conservative. And I think they're just going to overwhelm them. I think they're going to come out and skate hard, and they know this is it. I mean, they're both at this point, Game 7, they're both up against the wall.
Yeah.
But I think the Sharks, they're going to be able to counter the line changes. I mean, look how much ice time McKinnon's line got, and they were awful until the goal in overtime. They were a -3 up until the goal in overtime.
Yeah.
So they were on the ice for every single goal against with 0 points for. So the Sharks just need to do that again for a full 60 minutes, and they're going to be done.
Yeah, I mean, the question is going to be, can they, right? If the fatigue that we were seeing in Game 6 here is indicative of what we're going to see in Game 7, then it's going to be a different ballgame. But
we saw Game 4, they looked gassed,
Yeah.
and they came back and just destroyed them
yeah,
in Game 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I think is going to happen.
I would love for you to be right on that one. I certainly hope so. Yeah, because you know what? For two reasons. One, obviously we're fans and we want to see our team advance. I know there's a lot of Colorado fans in here too, and hopefully you're still enjoying the show. But that's actually the other reason, is that I enjoyed doing this, right? And we had some folks from Vegas who were still watching during Game 4 of the Colorado series, and because they still enjoy the show, which is awesome. So I mean, I hope we extend just so that Sharks get to play more hockey and that we get to do more live streams.
Yeah.
So, although our producer, super producer Jason, did make the comment earlier that he would like to get some sleep at some point. So, the more the Sharks play, the less sleep he gets, but he'll deal with it. So,
No rest for the weary.
yeah. So, yeah. Any other good comments or questions? No.
Do you see anything, Joe?
People just.
Eastern Conference Finals. Eastern Conference Finals predictions. So it's set
Hurricanes
now.
versus Bruins.
Oh man, you know, you got to go with the Bruins on this. I think.
I said Bruins in the finals.
Yeah.
Against the Sharks.
Yeah.
So it's looking so far on track.
Yeah.
That's all I have left in my bracket.
And when I saw the it was Washington and Carolina right at first, and I said, you know, my head says to go with Washington.
Oh, they went to Game 7.
Yeah, my head says go to with
Right.
because that was the question. Game 7, who's going to win?
Yeah.
So I was saying, like, you know, logically you got to go with Washington, but my heart tells me Carolina.
Do you remember that night
You know.
going in? I think it was the day before.
Yeah.
We talked about it, and I said, I don't know. Washington has a terrible home record in Game 7s in the last decade or so.
Okay.
And they just added to it because they lost.
Yeah.
Like, just for whatever reason, they're not clutch.
Do you really buy into those like historical stats? Because it's
Only,
a different team, right?
It is. I agree with
Yeah.
that. But only I said the last decade
Yeah.
because basically that's when Ovechkin's been on the team.
Okay.
So to me, that's his team.
Okay.
Right, in the last 10 years, maybe more than that, 15 now.
Sure.
So since he's been on the team, they've been awful at home on Game 7s. Most of that against Pittsburgh.
How are the Sharks at home in Game 7s? Because
I think they were
that seems to be relevant.
up until last Game 7. I thought they were like even.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
there you go.
it didn't matter basically. Like,
You know, the funny thing was they were saying teams that are up 3-2 have a 78% chance of advancing. And I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense. You know, because
going into Game 6
no,
or going to
just
Game
advancing.
7?
Just advancing.
Right.
If you're up 3-2, you have a 78% of chance of advancing. And I'm like, well, that makes sense.
What about when you're up 3-1?
Yeah, 100% if you're the Sharks apparently on that one. I don't know. So, but yeah,
they were down 3-1.
Yeah, we were down 3-1. Yeah. No, it basically comes down to coin flip those percentages, right? Because if you're talking about to advance, the Sharks only need to win one of the two games. The Avs have to win both. So if you were to flip a coin twice, right, you'd have a 25% chance of getting heads twice. Or tails twice, whichever one is what you need, right?
That's not how that works, but okay.
Yeah, it's 50% and then 50%. So 25% chance of getting two, 25% chance of getting the other two, and a 50% chance of getting one or the other, right?
It's always 50-50.
So
It's always 50-50.
I understand, but if you're
Thank you,
calling
Joe.
out, no,
Thank you.
It's a fair coin.
If you're saying I have 2 coins and I need to flip both of them and it needs to have this outcome, it needs to be both heads. You have a 25%
25% chance.
It's 25, but whatever. Anyway, so look, it comes out to your 78% chance of winning. That's 75% of the time you're going to get one of those two that you need, or both, right? So that was my point. I'm like, yeah, it basically comes down to a coin flip. So, and here we are, Game 7 now. The series is even up. It's more or less a coin flip. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it turns out. Again, love to have the Sharks moving on. Love to keep doing the show with you guys. But we'll know in 2 days.
Good points in here in the comments here. John Doe. Bobrovsky let in 11 goals in the last 3 games.
That wasn't a point raised by John Doe. That was a point raised by you about 2 hours ago.
Well,
It's on the screen.
just brought it
it's
up,
right
too.
there.
Oh,
It's right
okay.
there.
Yeah.
I didn't make that up.
I know, but I'm just saying
I know.
he was
I
talking
know.
about this beforehand. Like, I can't wait to rag on Bobrovsky.
I know, and I hold to you leave him alone until the Sharks advance.
That's right. Joe's in the chat going, dude, leave it alone until Jones makes it to the third round.
It was the first period.
Yeah.
And
first period of the first game.
First period of the first game, last in the first
against
round.
Tampa, yeah.
Yeah.
They
and he's like, oh,
goals.
Hey, Bobrovsky, 3 goals, and they won 4-3, and it's like, dude, you better back off.
And then CBJ
hockey gods are relentless.
Yeah. But they're done now.
Jason Hillier, by the way, disapproves of your statistics, Paul. Paul doing statistics, I disapprove.
Okay, sure, why not?
Let's see.
Joe is one too many. Not every night you hold McKinnon scoreless and Vlasic scores 2 goals from Shangpeng.
Yeah, no, it was a weird night. It really was. I'm really proud of the Couture line for shutting down the McKinnon line. I mean, they did a really good job defensively on them.
They did their job until the most important time.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
which is it's too bad. Were they on the ice? Couture line was on the ice.
I don't know about Couture, but I know it's Pickle and Carlson.
Carlson was out there. He got his helmet knocked off, which is you got to see the flow.
It's glorious, man. That flow is amazing.
Yeah, flow doesn't get you goals though.
But no, right. they did a great job basically all night, and the fact that they didn't just hold them off the score sheet. They put the goals up with them on the ice. That means they're possessing the puck. That means they're managing the puck. They're essentially making the McKinnon line not, get shots on goal and penetrate and everything else and then get stuffed. They're taking it to them in the offensive zone, and they're making Colorado or the McKinnon line play more so in that zone, which is great. That's what you need to do. You need to keep them out of the offensive zone. So the fact that they're doing that bodes really well for Game 7. If they can continue that, again, if you can shut down that line, we said you have a much better chance of winning that game. Well, JT Compher had something to say about that. But, again, I'll take holding that line to 1 point every game. It happened to be the game winner this time around. But
take away the overtime, right?
Yeah.
And they're held to 0 points. The Sharks are in the game.
Yeah.
They're in the game the whole time.
Now, let's talk about why the Sharks weren't in the game. Effort stuff aside, right? I haven't seen much from Kane. I haven't seen much from, obviously, Donskoy. Haven't seen a whole heck of a lot from Nyquist, although he did have 2 assists tonight. One of the assists, though, was like, here, Hurdle, do all the work.
right. So, and Nyquist, from what I heard on the radio, was 2-on-1 developing over to Nyquist, and all you hear was board. It was just like the hardest shot you've ever heard hitting the board, and I'm like, at least make him make the save.
Yeah. So, I mean... There's a lot of guys that I feel could be doing a much better job. And they've been kind of in ghosts, I think, in some of these last few games. We saw Hurdle play really well as of recent. We saw Couture play really well offensively as of recent, even because I wanted to separate that from the defensive side. Because obviously, I just got done saying Couture played well defensively against the McKinnon line. But we saw those 2 guys stepping up, and that's great. But there's a whole lot of guys in this team that have really big names on the back of their jerseys, and they are legitimate studs in this league. And I'd like for somebody to step up. And, we talked about depth, and we talked about Carlson not needing to be the guy on the team anymore. For Ottawa, he was like the man. He had to drive the offense. Nobody else could. Everything had to go through him, right? So I would like to see more out of him, like in a game like tonight, where he was kind of skating, he kind of wasn't. The one goal that went in, he was gliding back to the play. There are lots of really nice things that he does skating wise and everything, but I want to see something, all-star, superstar, amazing, like worthy out of him already. He's been playing really well, and he's been getting the puck in the zone for us and all that jazz, but I just want to see something that just stands out, like really, really big. I want to see him make a humongous, classic Erik Karlsson play, preferably on the offensive side of the puck. Get that puck in the net, right? Yeah. I haven't seen that yet, and I'm just waiting for it, and I know it's there. I know he's got the potential to do it, and everyone's calling for why should we sign this guy or we shouldn't sign him. It's like, no, he's a great, phenomenal player. I know he's got more in him than what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need more from our forwards. I think our defensemen are doing phenomenal offensively. I mean, the defensemen scored all the goals tonight.
Yeah.
Right? What did our forwards do? Nothing. So, I mean, not that they didn't do anything, but...
you just talked about like Couture's line holding the other guys.
Right. Yeah.
They were playing defense essentially, right?
Yeah. But like I said though, there's names that are out there that I expect to be able to do something with the puck in the offensive zone.
I'd call out Kane.
Yeah.
Meyer.
Yeah. Timo.
Yeah. Timo needs to step up. Right.
Yeah. Because
he has 5 shots on goal tonight, but no goals.
You know what's funny? There's a lot of people saw how many goals did he get this season? He was in right around the 30 mark, right?
Wasn't he?
I think he was in the 30 mark. So he got all these goals, and everyone's going, we're going to have to pay Timo a ton of money. And I'm going, well, wait a minute, because what's he doing for us so far in the playoffs, right? What has he done for us in this series even?
This is where you make or break your contracts.
Right. And if he's not showing up right now, I don't think he's going to cost us nearly as much as people think. And maybe that's a good thing, because the last thing you need to do is overpay for someone when you've already got cap issues. And we'll talk about that stuff in the offseason more so. But I don't know. I'm not seeing it out of Timo. I'm not seeing, that drive to get to the net, that drive to really. I mean, he did make that one really good play where he did drive in hard, and that ended up in the goal that Pickles got, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm just not seeing a good, consistent effort. I'm not seeing enough out of a lot of these guys that are, legitimately studs.
He had 30 goals and 36 assists.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's
regular season though.
This is kind of like me when it was like Burns in the last series was, I think it was like second or third in points production, and I was like, yeah, but I'm not seeing it for some reason. And I think it's when
Burns was first in points on the team.
Oh, I thought Carlson was.
No,
Burns.
No, not in the season. In the last series.
Oh, I don't know.
Carlson, I think.
Carlson had 9 because he had like 9 assists or something crazy. But I think it's when you have so many guys out there with the potential to do so well, and then they're just kind of playing a normal game. They're not playing like you've seen them play. You're like, what is wrong with them? Why aren't they doing better? And I mean, how many postseasons has Meyer under his belt? Even Kane, I thought, was one who missed the playoffs
every year until he got.
Last year was his first year.
Yeah. Right. So it's like these guys aren't seasoned veterans. So who do I want to be in there? I want to see Couture making more. I know he's doing a lot. I want to see him do even more. I want to see Thornton he's got a goal and an assist in the last 6 games. I want to see him do more.
Yeah.
I want to see these guys who know what it takes right now to step up big in Game 7.
This goes back to the series against Calgary, I think it was, when Roenick was on the team, right? We saw him step up and get 2 goals in that playoff series. That's kind of like what we need from Thornton. Not that he needs goals, but he needs to do something. Mm-hmm. That line needs to get going. I think they need to step up. Everyone needs to step up. It's Game 7. So who's going to be the hero?
Barclay Goodrow.
Hopefully
he
not.
almost was the hero.
Hopefully not in overtime.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm taking another overtime.
Yeah, I can't deal with this anymore.
No. Although again, we're going into a Game 7. It's a one game. It's like oh well, how do they do in Game 7s? It doesn't matter. How do they do in a single game, right?
Yeah.
But overall, it's so much more entertaining to me than that last series was, because the last series, I bet if you had no emotional ties to the Sharks or the Vegas, it was probably an amazing series to watch.
Yeah.
But I have an emotional tie, and I couldn't do it. Right now, I'm enjoying this series for as much as I'm like, man, I really wish the Sharks would have won tonight. It's been enjoyable. So
and I think there's something to be said there about there not being like a real rivalry, a real hatred for those teams. But there was a funny stat. Colorado apparently is the team we've played the most in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Sixth time, I think, or
no, in terms of games played, it's like 30-something games played
against. Because they're always long series.
Yeah, I guess so.
That makes sense.
Which is kind of I didn't realize that. I would have picked like the Kings or something. I mean,
they played them in like 2001, 2002 season.
I don't know, but
that's when Teemu Solani missed the goal.
Oh yeah,
on Patrick Waugh. You remember that? Oh man,
dude,
Waugh was way out of the net, and he did a wraparound and he got it up and everything, and he missed the goal. I think he hit the post.
Oh jeez,
wide open net. That would have ended the game and ended the series, and we ended up losing the series.
Yeah, my what do you call it? Memory is very short. I can't.
You have a hazy memory from those days.
I can't. I know. I can't remember anything. So
I remember that,
it's
man.
A shame.
Because right after that is when they blew up the team.
Oh, okay.
That was Timu was on the team. Owen Nolan, Vinny Dampus, Mike Ricci. It just got dismantled after that.
All right, well there you go.
Then they missed the playoffs the next year because of that.
Do you guys think we'll shift any lines for Game 7?
No.
That was an easy answer. Next.
I don't know.
Only if Pavelski comes back. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Well, I was going to ask you, like I mean, Sorensen and Blank with Thornton, but would you put somebody else down there with Thornton?
Move
bank up, maybe.
At this point, I don't think so. I think you've kind of missed that window to kind of experiment and play around with who's going to be on that line. I think if you're going to play those 3 players, then those are the guys. I mean, an interesting question to raise: if Pavelski does come back and you don't want to sit any of those guys on your 4th line, who do you take out? Do you take out Donskoy? Do you take out Sorensen?
Probably Haley.
Well, if you don't want to sit the guys on your 4th line, if you want to play Haley. Which maybe you don't. I don't know.
I think Donskoy would be scratched.
Yeah?
He's been okay, but not enough. Not enough.
Okay.
I think.
And you would put Pavs back in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And not worth playing 5D.
No.
Because
They're already playing 5D. If somebody gets hurt, you need to have Ryan ready to go. Yeah.
The Avs did that tonight. They had 7.
They had 70. Yeah.
The
Not
other
5.
way around.
Yeah.
70 what? Oh my gosh, that's unfair.
Yeah, well, yeah, and there was a question about like, hey, are they going to be able to play well with that? You know, and it's like they've been playing like that down the stretch. Apparently, Colorado said. I guess down the stretch they were playing with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen, so it was nothing new to them.
That would make sense because they have younger defensemen. Nemeth had only had 954.
Nemeth played well, I think.
954, and he was a +1.
There are a couple of plays that you could see with Nemeth, and
I
feel like I have a lisp when I say his name. By the way, Nemeth. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, he you know, pulled the puck away in the corner, protected it well, took a hit, turned back, still had the puck, and then just got the puck up and out. So it was a really good job by him. So I think he's done a pretty good job, at least in today's game. He stood out a little bit to me.
He stood out with 9 minutes 54 seconds.
Yeah, no, he did. I mean, that's sure. From the time that he was out there, you know, he did some good things.
Right. It's more than Joachim Ryan.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
6 minutes and 15 seconds.
Who had more time on ice? Joachim Ryan, Michael Haley.
Who do you think?
I think it was Ryan.
Yes.
Okay, by not much though.
Haley had 5 minutes and 27 seconds.
Ooh, it was close.
Because he spent 2 minutes in the box.
So not on ice, but
so and that's why I ask about playing less D and adding an extra wing.
Okay.
Because if you're only going to play this guy for less than 10 minutes, almost a couple games ago, it was less than 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're only going to play him for that long, he's obviously not taking a lot of energy minutes from your D.
Are you talking about Haley, or are you talking about Ryan?
Yeah.
Ryan?
I mean, Haley, you said's out there to basically be a body. He was hitting some people, but you could scratch him. But it's like, do you want to keep your offense on the? Do you want to keep more offensive-minded people out there to try and get goals? Your D is stepping up. Your offensive line is shutting down their offensive line for the most part.
Well,
so it's like
it's kind of weird because then you've got like one guy that's floating on the bench to try to float through a line. So I don't know how well that would work out.
Thank you, Lahaina Divers 13, $1.99. I'll trade something from my deployment for something on your set.
Is there a specific something that you want on your set, and what do you mean from your deployment? Like what do you have from your deployment? Curious.
What's the Mark Smith photo?
Off limits.
Yeah, you can have it.
Really? Oh wow. Okay.
I'm sure we'll see him again.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I mean, it's cool because
It's the
more
original.
of a personal.
Yeah, totally.
You can't really see it. I think there's a glare, but it says classic Smithy.
For Colorado fans that are tuning in and watching that, the picture that's behind Aaron here is former Sharks player Mark Smith. We had him on the show, episode number...
Dropped it.
Don't remember.
43, 4.
Somewhere in there.
Trying to get rid of the glare there.
So I don't know if you want to tell the story or not.
Short story. This is back in 2006. I ran into him at a bar near San Jose, in Los Gatos area, and I instantly recognized him, and nobody else in the bar knew who he was. He walked in with Nico Dimitrakos and Josh Hennessy, I think was the other guy. And I was like, Smitty, what's up? I want to buy you a beer. And he goes, no, we're drinking tequila. So then we're arm in arm taking shots of tequila for about the last half an hour. The bar was open, and then closed it out with them. And so we took this picture. And this was before cell phone.
Or toasters or anything.
Or toasters. Before cell phone cameras, really. So... or the cell phone cameras wouldn't be able to take a picture in the dark bar like that. Yeah. Not even close.
Toaster cameras can't do it either.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Toaster cameras are the worst.
Hey, I got some interesting stats here, or some fun stats from Nathaniel Arias. Went and did some research. Fun fact for everyone. It will be the Sharks' 12th Game 7, 14th for Colorado Avalanche / Quebec Nordiques. Sharks have a 7-4 Game 7 record. Avalanche have a 6-7. 4-6 is the Avalanche. 2-1 is the Nordiques. So that to me tells me I hope the Sharks win. But overall, it's kind of like that's the past teams. That's not this team right now.
And it's cool for like historical, like just to take a look at that stuff. But in terms of trying to use any of that as maybe a predictor or
and I wonder how many of those Game
encouragement
7s
for the next game. I don't think it really travels at all. So.
I'm gonna give them a homework assignment. How many of those Game 7s were against each other too?
Or how many Game 7s at home? Like the home Game 7.
How many? Should we make it a baseball stat? How many Game 7s on a Friday night when it had rained earlier in the day?
Right.
Were they wearing their black armor jerseys?
Oh no! You know what?
We'll just change camera angles to Joe eating ice cream or something like that, just like they do in baseball. So
no. What? I don't have any ice cream. You got to give me ice
They're
cream first.
talking about baseball or whatever, and then they throw the pitch, throws it back, and the guy catches it, and it's like, all right, now we need to fill some time. So let's look at the crowd, and there's a kid eating ice cream. Oh, wow, he's really digging into that. Okay, they're about to throw the ball again. It's like, how much more boring can this game possibly be? But that's okay.
Real quick,
I
Matt,
only like
question from Matt. Isn't Smitty a coach for his kid in San Jose? Doesn't he do
Yes.
the... Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, he is. He's a coach, I think, for his kid on one of the teams that's out there. But he also does the Little Sharks program, which is like you pay $150 and your kid gets full equipment, head to toe. We're talking from the helmet all the way through all the pads down to the skates, everything. Stick, everything. Yeah, the stick is actually funny because the blade's like this. It's not curved.
Completely flat.
It's flat. So that you can figure out if you're right-handed, left-handed.
That's smart.
Right? So I think mainly because they just don't want to have to pay for right-handed sticks and left-handed sticks.
But at that point, you're so beginner, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you don't really know. Yeah, you're just trying to like get your stick on the puck, and that's
Yeah.
it. It's not like you're trying to dangle, so you don't really need
Right.
or roof it or anything like
Right.
that. So this is for kids who have never played before, and it was a really good program. My son actually went through it. He has all his gear head to toe. It was really cool, and he got to get coached by Mark Smith. Got one of the other coaches was Scott Hannon, which is cool. I have a picture of him with Coach Scott. It's funny. They're both like sitting down. I guess he got tripped up. He was upset. My son's like 5 years old at the time. I don't think he was 5 actually. But anyway, he was sitting on the ice, and Coach Scott comes over to him, and he's like, talking to him and stuff, like trying to cheer him back up. It was really cute. So I got a picture of it. But yeah, no, it's a great program. If your kids are not playing hockey and they're in the San Jose area or in Fremont or in Oakland, I think they have the same program in all of those different Sharks Ice owned facilities. So check those out. Again, $150. Your kid gets gear head to toe, and they get like 6 sessions worth of lessons. It's really great. So they learn a lot.
Circling back on the diver.
Yeah.
He's in the Navy deploying to the Middle East, hopefully after the Sharks raise a cup.
Okay.
And
Does
Hoo-yah.
Smitty still plays?
Hoo-yah? Yeah. Okay.
what?
Smitty still plays guitar, but he plays didgeridoo.
Yes, he used to play. He had a band for a while.
He plays a didgeridoo?
Yeah, did you not remember?
I didn't know. I
Maybe
don't
we should go
remember him
back
saying
to our
that.
episode and watch the
I don't remember
interview.
him saying that. I told you I can't remember anything.
Oh, yeah.
Bad memory.
Yeah, we totally talked about that. Really? Are you kidding? Man, you're like
Bucks to the head.
Dory. I'm going to call you Dory from now on.
Hi, I'm Paul from the Fin
Just
Factors.
keep hosting. Just keep hosting.
Just kidding. Nice. What else you got?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I mean,
Well,
we're
anyway, let us know what you'd be interested on
Yeah.
trading, because we were interested in trading this stuff. I mean, not everything, but a lot of the stuff we're going to be at the end of the season. We're going to
so
do something with it.
For the folks that are kind of watching us and have been watching us for a while and everything, but the new guys here, welcome. And again, you should be subscribed, and I'll tell you why. Because we're going to start giving some of this stuff away as the season winds down and comes to a close here. So the shirts, some of the shirts that you see, some of the baubles, we have pucks that are up there from like they kind of look like the shirts actually, with the pucks on there.
neon.
We actually even have, and this will be kind of like the coup de grace probably, I think, the Joe Thornton signed puck. That is the half. Well, we don't have it right here. It's up there probably.
Up there.
It's the 500 goal Marlowe on one side, 1,000 assists Jumbo on the other side, and I got Jumbo to sign that side for me. So we'll be giving that one away as well. So, that's a sub right there. Whoever did that, good idea. So if I were you, I would subscribe, because then you get to know when we are going live. Well, a notification gets sent out to you, so you'll be aware of it. We don't fill up your inbox with useless junk. We are only during the regular season. We shoot once a week. So we don't take kind of like a macro view of the team. So definitely worth the sub. Also, if you're not following us on Twitter, Facebook at The Fin Factor, or Instagram at Fin Factor, thanks again, 12-year-old kid. And we have lots of things that we put out there, lots of game updates, comments on the games that are going on, pictures and whatnot from the set, and fun things like that. So follow us on those as well.
Hey, Paul, quick memory test.
Yo.
Who won the game tonight?
Oh, who are we playing again?
Paul has short-term memory.
Yes.
Long-term
Colorado
memory,
Avalanche.
not so much.
Yeah.
All right, so
Not so much.
I want to go back to a question. It might not have a question, it was a comment,
Yeah.
but it's from Matt F. Because of the av speed, EK65 and Burns shouldn't pinch as much as they do. Somebody was saying they shouldn't put them out there at the same time, and I think as long as one of them's being responsible, you can. But including trying to keep stray pucks back in the zone, that strategy should only be when they're down.
I agree. Part of it was we were down in the third there, so that's one of the times you saw them out there. And I had actually said it to you. I said, The only thing I don't like about putting Burns and Karlsson on the ice at the same time is that when you do a line change, neither Burns nor Karlsson is out there on the ice. I would rather have one of the two out there and have an offensive threat all the time than have both of them out there and have a heavy offensive threat but potentially get torched on the way back, because we both know that both of those guys are not really awesome at playing defense solid. Yeah, so
I agree. You need to have one of them out there at all time. That's a more dangerous play.
Yeah, I would much rather see Bernsey sticking with Vlasic. Obviously, it paid off. Vlasic got 2 goals tonight, and Bernsey got the other one. So it looked like that pairing did pretty well. And Karlsson sticking with Dylan. Although there was a shot there of Karlsson getting a little upset with Dylan on the bench there, kind of barking at him, and Dylan just taking it.
Yeah, I think that was a little overblown.
Well, yeah, probably. But, I mean, it did happen is all I'm saying. So, things like that are going to happen. Guys are going to get frustrated. They're going to talk to each other on the bench, and sometimes it's going to look a little bit more, huffy, I guess you want to call it, than them just having a conversation. So, these guys are professional athletes. They're very competitive, and they're trying to win a game. So sometimes you're going to see that stuff, and I mean, it's okay. It is what it is. It's not like he's going to be upset and they're not going to be paired up anymore. They're going to talk about whatever is the problem, and they're going to fix it. And hopefully they do. There was a pass in particular that I saw, and I don't think this is the one he was complaining about because that happened way after what I'm about to talk about. But there was one pass that went from D to D behind the net, and it was a pass to Erik Karlsson with somebody already charging at him before the pass was even let go. So it's like you're just asking him to get railed. And I've seen when PK Subban was in Montreal, this is a long time ago, so I remember this amazingly, where somebody passed the puck over to PK, and he was just basically set up to get railed. And he just let whoever it was, his D partner, he just let him have it on the bench. Like, what do you think you're doing? You're killing me.
Yeah.
You pass the puck like that, and I'm going to catch it while a guy's right about to hit me. I'm going to get creamed. So maybe that's one of the things he was talking to him about, like, hey, you need to be smarter about when you pass it to me or whatever the case is.
In soccer, we call that a hospital ball.
Okay.
Because you're sending your teammate to the hospital.
I think in I could be wrong, but I think in hockey they refer to it as a SUI. As
like
a
suicide
pass. Yeah, you pass to the guy so that he gets drilled.
Yeah.
I
say hospital
I think
ball.
we call it a SUI. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Paul, some people are very superstitious and they've been calling for it a little bit. If you remember the details.
God, no.
What's up with that stick behind you?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, they asked for it to come.
I'll do the turbo version of it, okay? So, Martin Jones at practice played with this. Stick was chipped up or something like that. Threw it off on the side of the bench. Practice was done, cleared out, and I picked it up and swiped it. It pulled it out of the trash, and I didn't want to have anybody make fun of me because I pulled it out of the trash. Because at the time, he was playing like trash according to everybody else. This was Game 4, Round 1, where he just was really, really bad. Anyway, took the stick to him, got him to sign it. There you go. And me and the fans that were out there to get signatures and whatnot, we just basically let them know, hey, man, we're behind you. And that's the reason that we won so many games straight.
And now he will play.
There you go.
It does stop pucks.
It does stop pucks. There are puck marks on it. So
it at least deflects them. That's for sure.
I was going to wipe the puck marks off to make it look nice, but then I figured everybody would just clown me about how it can't stop pucks.
Here's a comment from Corey Kling. Love the show, fellas. I want to thank you guys for shouting out to my girlfriend in Game 1. She's getting interested in watching the Sharks now. And also, what's up with the signatures on Season 1?
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is basically anyone that we've interviewed on the show. We had autographed our Season 1. So you can go back and see all these interviews, and not all of them. I think we got pictures of most of them signing it. What?
Okay, so Essen Gallo, that was the first one we had. It was episode 11, I believe.
Yeah.
He runs the Bay Area Hockey Repair. It's across the street from the Solar for America Ice in San Jose. Really great guy, and he does really good work if you need anything like repalmed for your gloves or pads fixed up or anything like that. You're trying to save some money instead of buying new ones. Go check him out, Essen Gallo. Tell him that Paul from the Fin Factor sent you so that I can maybe work something with him later on. We'll see. But other guys that we've got here, I'm not sure if that's Dan or Doug. I think is it Doug?
Doug's down here.
That's Dan. Dan Ruzanowski's up there. Doug Wilson's down there. Murray. Doug Murray is there. Randy Hahn, which was awesome, by the way. Evgeny Nabokov. Smitty. I don't know who Kurz. Kevin Kurz. Yeah, beat writer for the San Jose Sharks. Kevin Kurz was on the show as well. That was a fun one because we got to have an honest discussion with someone who's not a Sharks fan. but who does nothing but pay attention to the Sharks.
Yeah.
So it was really cool being able to have him on the show. A lot of people don't like him because he is very candid. He doesn't care what you think. He cares about what he has to say about the team, and if you don't like it, well, too bad. So it was really good to be able to sit down with him and get that kind of a perspective from it, because a lot of times what you're getting is, you know, a fan's perspective, especially with us. Obviously, we're fans. Although I think we pride ourselves on not being like fanboyish about the Sharks. You know, we try to give an honest opinion, an honest view of it. We don't get too high on the highs, too low on the lows.
We try to be level-headed.
We're even keel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least that's the way I would see it. Maybe
I mean, we
you guys disagree.
slant obviously towards the Sharks.
Sure.
It is a Sharks show. So
you're going to root for him, but you're going to call him out.
But even
we're not completely unbiased or anything, but
we'll call him
at the
out.
same time,
I will be.
We'll call him out, but at the same time, you know, we try to take a positive spin on things that are going on if one is necessary. So that's just kind of how we do it. We don't like to just bash. So
Nathaniel got back. Thank you very much. The Sharks and Avs have only played each other once in a Game 7, and that was in the 2001 to 2002 playoffs. Conference semifinals. It was conference semifinals again, and the Avs won the series 3-4. So
it was the game that Aaron remembered.
All right. I have a question here, and I'm gonna modify it slightly.
That head is good for more than just causing a reflection to you guys.
Hashtag shiny.
I told my wife, I was like, this show is great because it's all this useless information that I'm getting to use now. Like it's coming out.
It's finally coming to light.
God, that's what we need to do. Okay, I was talking about with Jason actually a long time ago about maybe doing. Hey, we have an idea for another show. I'd love to do another show because I like to talk. That's what we should do, a useless information show, and we can get Super Key Grip Joe to host it because you have so much useless information in your head. It's ridiculous.
I do, and you know what's hilarious is I actually heard something today, and I'm like, I need to tell this to Paul, and I can't remember what it was. It's going to come up in a conversation later when we're talking about something
If you ever
important.
have questions about like the universe, I think even like
all kinds of weird stuff.
Hit up Super Key Grip Joe for sure. But for the context of this show, we'll stick to hockey. So
all right, so
putting this to the test now.
What's that?
Putting it to the test. Or are you gonna?
No, I couldn't. If I could remember it, I would totally tell you right now.
Putting this to the test, what we were just talking about. Yes. Joey Overstreet, thank you for the $2.
Yes.
Sorry, guys, but go Avs, beat the Sharks.
Yeah, we'll see you in Game 7.
Thanks for $2.
Literally, because we have to be there.
We'll refund them.
We'll refund. Where's the refund button on here?
So I want to go back up to Matthew's question.
It's okay. I'll forget about that comment anyway. It's okay. Go ahead.
Love the stream. Where did Kane go? I'm not seeing the drive from him, which we kind of talked about, and I answered that. But as far as the second part of the question, what can Pavelski do? So I would say if Pavelski returns, what is the impact that you guys think he has?
Oh, he's definitely giving up some more teeth for a goal.
Oh, don't do that.
He's gonna stand in front. No, he gives a different look for one in the power play. He gives the Sharks a more deadly power play because he can tip the puck like no other in the league. He is the master tipper. So he's going to be dangerous in front, and he gets those garbage goals. He'll take a pounding and put away the garbage. So he makes the Sharks more dangerous. And kind of something that we had talked about, the Sharks need to get more bodies in front of the net, and that's exactly what Pavelski does.
I think a healthy Joe Pavelski makes the team much better. If he is actually healthy and he comes back, I'm all for it. If he's not ready to come back, he's not 100% healthy, I think it makes the team worse. So, but I don't know. We'll see. I hope that he is healthy. I hope that he's able to come back, and I hope he does make an impact because we're going to need it. They're a good team. Colorado's a really good team. They've got scoring coming from guys like JT Compher when it really mattered, right? Even when their top line, their only offensive threat line is held to a -3 until the overtime where they finally pot one. They've got contributions coming from other areas as well. And regardless of actually putting the puck in the net, you can see that they're moving their feet more. They're a little bit more of a blue-collar team, I think. And I think sometimes, having a lot of skill is great and having a lot of depth is great, but there are times when just hard work beats having lots of skill. And I think some of that is what we're seeing, in a game like tonight. We're seeing these guys that, putting the work boots on and going out there and just beating a better San Jose Sharks team, because that's what it is. The San Jose Sharks team are a better team, but they're just getting outworked, out-hustled, out-manned to pucks. Mm-hmm. I'm probably getting out-hit. I don't know what the hit numbers are, but those are pretty subjective anyway. So, I mean, again, I just don't see – I see guys like Zadorov. Those hits are standing out. I see a Burnsy butt check. Yes, that one hit or the 2 hits, they stand out.
I would say the almost hit that he almost landed on Rantanen.
Oh yeah.
I think that was in the third period,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
He
yeah.
came flying in. Luckily for Rantanen, he kept his head up.
Yeah.
He ducked it, but he kept his head up because
Yeah.
I think that's the kind of MO is that he keeps his head down when he comes in the zone. So he was trying to make him pay. That would have been a devastating hit. Probably would have taken Rantanen out, maybe for the game, maybe just for a little bit of the game, but that would have really hurt him because he's a small guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, we're not calling for injuries to anybody, but at the same time, I think you need to, again, they talking about finishing your checks. I'm talking about starting your checks. I'm just not seeing it from the boys. Like, I'm just not seeing him go in those corners. Again, Cale Makar, Colorado Avalanche fans, you guys know this guy's a stud. He's ready to go, but he's also very young. And that's one of the things, you know, we'll talk about NHL 19 for a second here. There's a stat called poise. Your ability to play well in those highly intense situations, right? Your stats take a little bit of a dive when you're playing in the playoffs when you're a young player in the league because of that poise rating. Well, it's kind of like that with these younger players. It's like you want to get in their heads, and your ability to get in their head is so important. For a guy who's a veteran that's been out there for a long time, good luck getting in Joe Thornton's head. It's not going to happen, right? I mean, he's been there, done that, seen it all. Everybody's chirped him. He's chirped back, and he's won games, lost games. Doesn't matter. He's seen everything. You're not going to get in his head. For a guy who's just coming out of the NC2A tournament where he lost it, not he lost it, but his team lost it, and he gets injected into the NHL playoffs, and he's freewheeling out there like like it is NC2A. You can't let him do that. You got to get on that guy. You got to get on his body. Got to hit him. Got to get in his head. And it's just, I'm not seeing that. I swear to you, Nathan McKinnon and his line are the powerhouse of that team. They're not getting the puck nearly as much if they're not breaking it out to him. And guys like Cale Makar, who are highly skilled and able to walk that blue line, walk across the blue line, get through the neutral zone, break out passes left and right, speed, agility. They're fast and they can move. You got to get these guys into a place where they're not confident with themselves. And the only way you're going to do that is either make them have mistakes just by stick on stick, and they're not doing that, or pound him.
Right.
And we're not doing that either.
Thanks, Joey, again, Joey Overstreet, for another $2.
Oh,
really? Go, Avs, go. Avs, go.
So are all the Avs fans going to hit up the show so that we have to say the comments?
I'm just curious, and I'm not trying to be mean, but are there any Avalanche shows like this or anything, any kind of podcast?
Yeah, because we had the one was the VGK coverage who came in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was a Vegas fan and was like, he has his own show as well.
Yeah.
So I wonder if I don't go look because after this I'm going home and falling asleep. But if there's any other shows out there that'd be interesting. I mean, like we're still going to do our show.
Yeah.
We're not going to hop off to watch somebody else's.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people like, oh, he found your coverage when I was looking for coverage of the series.
Right. No, I mean the VGK coverage guy, he was really cool. He came into the comments and was very cordial with everybody, and he had good hockey knowledge and everything. I think he's got a pretty humongous following too for a team that's just started up to is on their second season. He's got a pretty big following. So I mean, if there's another show like this, that's for Colorado, we're just kind of curious. To be honest with you, I don't really listen to or watch any other shows or podcasts or anything else. What we do here is we just talk as if we're just talking amongst friends. And for those of you who are new, Aaron and myself and Joe, we all went to the same kindergarten together. So we've all known each other for a ridiculous amount of time.
High school.
Yeah, kindergarten through high school, and then even after college, we kind of all reconvened because we all still live in the area. So, that's kind of where the back and forth and the fluidity of the show kind of comes from, is that we've already known each other for pretty much our entire lives. So, no, but we're just, we don't look at, I don't know, maybe you do, but I don't look at any other
I don't have time
streams or podcasts or whatever. So
Braxby, just going to throw this out there.
Yeah.
Checking him from Edwards Air Force Base in California.
Nice.
Thank you. Welcome to the show, and thanks for tuning in. And thank you for your service. It's great. Spittin' Chicklets. You ever listen to that one?
I've listened to them like once or twice because they had a Brent Burns on.
So did you just catch that segment?
I caught that one, and then Dropping the Gloves with John Scott. I've listened to one or two of his. I think I listened to the first one because I was like, oh, it's John Scott, and John Scott's awesome. So I'll listen to. He was like the first show that he ever had, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'll listen to that, and then radio silent. And then after that, he had one that he was talking about San Jose Sharks, and he had a story about Brent Burns, and Doug Wilson and taking the C off of Thornton's jersey, and I was like, that sounds like it might be interesting. So I went through and listened to that one. But other than that, I really don't listen to anything. I listen to our show more than anything else because my kids are in the car like, can we listen to the Fin Factor? I'm like, really? Okay, sure, why not?
Thank you, LuckFrog82. We know who you are. 7 for 7. Go Sharks, $7.
Okay, all right, yeah, I like that. That's good.
That's pretty good.
It's better than Go Avs Go.
Right. And that's more money combined than the Go Avs Go.
Oh, Aaron's calling you out, Avs fans. Obviously, you don't love your team if you're not giving us super chat money.
Actually, it looks like so. Nathaniel said there's no Avs channel that he's found for a podcast. So he's suggesting that he and Jason actually start one for the Minnesota Wild.
Oh, Jason, you feel like doing some remote work?
No,
Jason
Jason Hillier.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Super producer Jason. No, I didn't get that. I thought you were talking about.
They're Avs fans. Go start one for the Wild.
Yeah, no,
I got nothing.
It's all over the place. So Corey Kling, I've seen the interview episodes. The one with Murray is hilarious. That was the Doug's episode, right? You guys interviewed 3 separate Dougs at SAP Center.
Yeah. Doug Wilson, Doug Murray, and then Doug Bentz were the guys that we interviewed. Yeah,
Doug and Doug.
Doug. All the Dougs.
And you guys already mentioned, are you any of you going to Game 7? You're not definitely not going, but you're not definitely going yet, right?
You're definitely not going. You don't know if you're definitely not going.
I mean, what if someone's like, hey, you want to go to the game? I'd be like,
this is his way of sneakily asking if he could be the second ticket if I have
no.
If
you guys both go, I'm going to have to sit there and wait for you to show up.
It'll just be Joe in studio. Jason's going to go to bed. You're going to be on the board, and then you're going to come out here.
I'll be on the board, and I'll run over, and then the sound level's good, guys. I'll just run back and forth. We'll get Marshall here or something.
No, I might show up to that one. That'd be great. I would love to. I'm kind of part of a bigger group that has season tickets, and I was able to go to Game 7 of Round 1, which is amazing. If you haven't watched that episode live, by the way, totally do that. And I even have timestamps for when they were celebrating, when Joe made a weird sound, and when I came in.
I'll do it again. Don't
yeah, I know you will. And from when I came in from showing up in studio after the game. So that one was a humongous live stream. So definitely use the timestamps. But it was definitely a good episode. Lots of fun, especially if you're a Sharks fan. So check that out.
What section do you normally sit in?
104, row 4. That was awesome because that's right where we were for the 4 goals that went in the power play.
Oh, yeah.
We were sitting literally like in the corner. That is the corner where that goal is. That all 4 goals got scored on. And we were just going absolutely berserk. It was great.
You might have cried.
I might have cried. I didn't, but I might have. But I didn't. But I might have.
And made it on TV.
Did I make it on TV? I didn't make it on TV.
After the game. Your social post.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that made it.
Uh-huh.
You made it on NBC.
Yeah, I did.
NBC Sports.
NBC Sports put out like a compilation of fans' reactions and stuff, and yeah, I was on there. Just like it was weird though because the first part of that reaction was I don't know, I don't even know what happened, and they took that chunk. The chunk right after that was me saying 4 goals. What? Like and it was I don't know. To me, I would have taken that.
I think I was complaining like that game. I was complaining about at least because that was the game that I actually had to run.
Yeah,
you know, God for I don't know why you guys put me in charge of Game 7.
Oh right,
Super producer Jason was actually out of
he's out of town.
State.
Yeah,
really.
state.
So Super Key Grip Joe got a promotion, signed a 1-day contract, and then he was the
got paid for every penny.
Yeah, he was the super producer. I guess
I was
for
just
the day.
sitting over there.
And then he also had to co-host because I was at the game, so Joe was doing everything. That was a great one.
Thank you, Matthew DeLeo, for $1. No comment.
He says no. He says $1.
$1 because you guys are number 1.
I'm
the comment came in.
Nice.
I wish we were like number 2. We'd had $2. Anyways, no, but that game. What was
we're
it?
Number 1,000.
During that it was they were down 3-0, and I'm like, well, at least I showed up and was ready to do this. And right after that. That was when history was made.
So. In that game, and I don't mean to stray away because I know there's Colorado fans watching, but in that game, I was in the seat. We go down 3-0, and I'm going, okay, I am hosting a show that a lot of people are going to want to see. If this is how we go out, this is Game 7. I probably should be there. So I'm considering getting up out of my seat and maybe going, look, Pavelski just got a penalty.
Yeah, don't ever do that.
Yeah, I know. It's like, well, we're down 3-0 with like 11 minutes left in the third, and I'm going, I also have an obligation to the viewer, right? So
nobody wants to see you, though, so take your time.
That's true. I can't remember if anybody wants to see me. Anyway, so then Pavelski goes down, and yeah, it was just goal, 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 goal. It was just amazing.
It was
to
amazing
see,
that article that we were reading that you posted as well. I think it was on NBC area maybe.
Yeah.
And they were like, when they got the first goal, they were putting like the staples in his head, and then by the time he had gotten like the 8th staple or something like that, that was when the second goal went off.
No, the
like,
fourth goal was in the 8th staple.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the overall trauma that had been done, and he's in there. He has no idea what's going on. He can barely sit upright, and he's just feeling terrible, obviously. And then he gets down and he sits in front of a TV, and he's like, "Wait, what? What happened? How do we in lead?
Yeah, how do we get all these goals?" So. It was.
I think somebody mentioned that. Hey, real quick, the game starts at 6 on Wednesday.
Oh,
so it is not a 7 o'clock start. It is an early game.
That means we'll be on here at 9.
So
3 hours after
whatever the game start time is, add 3 hours, and that's generally when we go live. Sometimes we go a little bit early if the game's done and over with, and then people are like, there's 100 people in there waiting for us to start talking. We don't want to leave them hanging for another 20 minutes. So sometimes we'll start a little bit early, but generally speaking, yes, we'll go live about 3 hours after the puck drop.
6 o'clock probably because there is no other game on nationally.
Yeah,
that's the only game. It's only game 7.
Start a bit early for the East Coast folks
because game 7 tomorrow for Dallas and St. Louis. And the Sharks will be on Wednesday.
Yeah, that. Oh man, that's gonna be rough. Whoever comes out of this series after playing 7 games. Gonna have to go up against. Well, they're gonna go up against the team that played 7 games as well, but they're gonna have an extra day of rest too. So you get that extra day of rest, but you've also, you're playing close enough. It's not like you swept and then you have like a whole week and a half that you have to wait to play. So.
St. Louis and Dallas is gonna have to wait to see who wins because they're either traveling to San Jose or staying home.
Oh, that's true.
So that's a little funky for them.
They'll have the bags packed and ready to go. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's more for the equipment staff than the players.
Another $2 from Matt DeLeo. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
$2. All right. Can Hurdle deflect more goals?
I would love to see that. That was such a great goal. Carlson firing one at Hurdle, and that was the second goal I think of the comeback. Right.
So that was well. There was that one, but didn't he do the same? Wasn't one of his goals the second goal probably in Game 5 against Colorado? Didn't he do that same similar deflection? Oh right, you don't remember.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Aaron, help me out. You have that. You have the vault up there.
Well, he had that one where he was standing in front and he tipped it up over his glove side. That was the winner of Game 5. That's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, last game.
Second goal.
So because somebody was like saying he should deflect more like he did in Vegas, and I was like, I think he's done one so far. Yeah. I do think that there's so many guys. This is. I want all of the Sharks to do so well because you look back at the season and every team had their scorer. Every team had the guys who were just up there in points. The Sharks had Burns, so I want him to get his assists numbers back up because those were not scoring goals. But it was like you had Pavelski with almost getting 40, and then it was just everyone was in the 30s, and beyond that everyone was in the 20s. It was just so many goals around.
They had 4 or 5 30-goal scorers. It was 4.
5.
5 30-goal scorers, and they probably had like 9 20-goal scorers, something like that. Some ridiculous amount, right? And then, I don't know, again, like I see games like tonight and something in the last couple games where there was we had a 2-1 win, right?
And you contribute that a lot to Grubauer's playing well, right?
Sure.
Their defense, if like your whole strategy, keep the shots to the perimeter, right? If they're doing that to us, they're doing the same thing.
Sure.
Then if we're not getting those quality shots in, then okay. But I'm like, what were we doing during the regular season to get those quality chances then?
Well,
how do we get back to that?
Part of my problem with, I'm sure if you take a look at the heat map, you'll see it. But I think the heat map, even for last game, where we saw Burns, the point where Burns shoots from was just lit up red.
Yeah.
There's some green around there.
He's usually leading the team in shots.
Yeah, I mean, he's pumping them in, but it's like if we're not getting in Grubauer's eyes, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how hard you shoot. It ain't going to go in if he's going to see the puck.
That was something that actually Couture today blocked 2 shots. Unfortunately, they were shots on Grubauer, and he blocked 2 of them.
Instead of deflecting, he stopped.
Exactly. And he was doing the right thing. He was getting there. Mm-hmm. He was trying to get in his eyes. Unfortunately, the shots ended up in his chest.
Well, to Aaron's point, if a healthy Joe Pavelski comes back, that instead of getting blocked, gets deflected or tipped or whatever you want to call it, and hopefully ends up in the back of the net, tucking twine. So
I did see them. I think it was might have been the overtime. One of them went through, and it was that jump over, like that jump. Like I've never seen that before, and I've seen it twice in the playoffs now.
Where the shot comes and they jump over it?
Yeah, like the little bunny hop where they're just like, ah.
Yeah.
Sound effects. Thanks.
Joe's good for sound effects and useless knowledge.
I am. So.
All right. I think we're gonna wrap up here.
We're good?
Yeah.
That's about an hour and a half, so we
Yeah.
probably should.
Oh, is it?
Pretty good.
With including the end of the game, which was a very short overtime, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad it was short and didn't drag on for 2 periods and then they lose, because then they're just gonna be dead for Game 7. So it's better to just rip the Band-Aid off.
So
and get it over with.
last question here then, I guess, for you. Who do you think has the big upper hand in Game 7 then?
I think the Sharks do.
Okay.
I think if you look at the home teams, they kind of have the advantage. They both split the first 2. You know, Colorado won Game 2, Sharks won Game 3.
Yeah.
So I still think the Sharks have the advantage. Just the depth and the ability to shut down that McKinnon line, which is key, I think is going to come into play.
Okay.
By the way, thank you again, Matthew DeLeo, $2 in the super chat, but not talking about accidental deflections. More of the intentional variety.
Yeah.
For Hurdle, that is.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
totally.
I think Hurdle needs to step up. And someone had asked what he had done so far in this series, Hurdle, and I just looked it up: 2 goals and 2 assists, and 2 goals in 1 game, 2 assists in 1 game, nothing outside of that.
Oh, okay. So he showed up for 2 games, basically.
He needs to step up. He stepped up for the whole first round. He was amazing the first round.
But you know what? I mean, that could be said for a couple guys on this team, not just for this series, but for this playoffs, right? These playoffs. There's a few guys that have been pretty silent for going on 14 games now. And, you know, some of these guys got some pretty good names on the back of their jerseys, and I'd love to see some of them step up, bury the puck, make a nice play. Something, right? Something.
Contribute.
And, contribute. And I'm just not seeing, especially tonight, I mean, I was talking to you. I was like, you know what? They may win this game, but I don't think they deserve to win this game.
Yeah.
The way that they're playing, it just doesn't look like they're the better team tonight. And I think that's one of the points that the guys on the broadcast, or maybe it was just the radio because it was competent people talking, those...
Shots fired.
bang, bang. They had said, you know, for this series, the better team has won every game. The guys that came out and that looked like the better team won the game every single time so far. And I think that would bodes. I mean, that's the truth of it tonight as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully the Sharks will be the better team, and hopefully that trend continues for Game 7.
They will have last change, right? So that'll help out. That'll at least a little bit.
Again, last change. There's hometown advantage for your home crowd, knowing how the puck's going to bounce, and then you're not dealing with altitude. So there's a lot of things that are in the Sharks' favor, things that they're used to coming back to home. So I'm not saying that's a shoo-in for a win. I'm just saying those are things that are in their favor, and there's no excuses for a loss in Game 7. The Sharks need to win this game. The Sharks should win this game. They are the better team. They need to show it.
They need to. Someone just said they'd be disappointed if the Sharks lose.
Oh, I would be too. Now, let's go back to one thing before we go. One thing that I had said before playoffs even started.
Yep.
Would it be a disappointment if the Sharks did not make it to the Stanley Cup final? For me, I said yes.
Yes, definitely.
I would absolutely be disappointed if the Sharks didn't make the Stanley Cup final. If they lost in Game 7 of Vegas, the Vegas series, versus if they lose in Game 7 2 days from now against Colorado, I would feel more let down in the Colorado series than I would in the Vegas series because of the way they stormed back from being down 3-1, because of the way they stormed back from having a 3-0 deficit, less than 12 minutes left in the third period, right? Less than 11 minutes, I think, left in the third period.
Yeah.
And say all you want about the game being handed to them. Let me tell you something. The game was handed to Vegas in Game 2 when that goal got disallowed. That was a goal that would have counted.
You remember
and
that?
it got disallowed, yes.
How did you remember that?
That's amazing.
Oh, it's on the board.
Selective. That was one that got handed handed to Vegas. That goal got taken off the board. For the 4 goals that got put up in Game 7, that wasn't taken off the board or put on the board by referees. That was the only thing they were given, opportunity. That's the only thing the Sharks were given there was opportunity. Okay? They still
He's
you
trying to
got
monologue.
it.
He's trying to
You got
monologue
it,
again.
baby.
Preach, Paul.
Bang. I'm with you. That was the only thing that was given to them was opportunity. The Sharks had to score those 4 goals, and they did. Once in 8,447 different chances of a 5-minute major happening.
The Sharks
has
have
it
that many majors?
ever scored 4 goals? Twice now. So the chances of that happening, infinitesimally small. That was a epic collapse by Vegas, not a game being handed to them by the referees. So take that with you on your way out the door as we say goodbye. Anything else you want to throw in there?
Everyone's laughing because he's losing his voice again. Easy killer.
You got it, buddy.
No, just hit up our socials. If you're looking for some merch to help support the show, you can go to thefinfactor.com. There you go. The coupon code playoff mode down there.
Yeah.
My hands
10% off playoff mode is the coupon code, no space or anything. So anything in your purchases that you have, the whole cart, 10% off.
Yep. And we have a few signature cards left that we will, or stickers left.
With my vein popping out or what?
That we'll give away too, along with your orders.
Jason Hillier is still disapproving of your stats, Paul.
Why?
He said you're doing statistics again. He's disapproved.
So what? Who cares?
Anyway.
What, you think you got the market corner on the statistics, Jason?
We're wrapping this up.
All right, cool. And so nothing else, we're good to go? Or?
So we'll be back at 9 p.m. on Wednesday after the Sharks game. If they go to overtime, we'll do what we did tonight, and we'll be live still at 9 p.m. so you can watch overtime with us and commiserate with us.
If you enjoyed the show and you like seeing me do Coach's Corner and have a vein pop out of my head, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, at least for the next couple games. Right. We'll see how it goes. But if that's all that we're doing here, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. So for super producer Jason, super key grip Joe, I am Paul.
And I'm Aaron.
And we will see you guys
Wednesday night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.